Welcome, everyone. Welcome. Happy to see a room full of friendly, familiar faces. My name is Morgan Day. I'm the Director of Planning here at the World Food Prize, and I think I've probably, at this point, maybe received an email from each and every one of you. So I'm very happy to see you all here for what we're sure is going to be 3 days full of interesting and very important discussions that we're going to be having around our theme of rising to the challenge of feeding the world by 2050. This is the 19th year of the BORLAUG dialogue, and when we started, Ambassador Quinn would probably mention that I was a little bit younger than he would have enjoyed thinking about. But we started with 50 people, and now we welcome annually over 1,500 individuals from all around the world to Des Moines, Iowa, to come and talk about the most pressing issues facing our world: hunger, climate change, poverty, and the ways that we're going to work together to solve all of these things. So there are many challenges, but there are many opportunities as well. And over these next 3 days, I hope that we not only discuss these opportunities and challenges, but that we take from here these ideas and put them into action in the many cross sectors that we all come from to come together and cooperate to solve these great challenges. One man who has done this for his whole career, as many of you know, is our president, Ambassador Kenneth Quinn. When he retired from foreign service, he thought, hey, I'll go try something hard, and decided to take on his role as the president of the World Food Prize. And since he took it over with just him and one other staff member, for the 50 people, it's risen to prominence and the legacy of Dr. Borlaug, and he has built what we all know and see now to be the World Food Prize. So I'd like to welcome our processional onto the stage. If we can all give them a big round of applause.
Morgan, thank you for that very nice introduction. And hey, come here a second. Can't get away, and that. So I just want to say Morgan and Paige Massamore, who's over here, and all my team has been working so hard. And I get emails from them at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. And what they know is they get them back for me at the same time. But it's just because I'm old and can't sleep. But she's done a terrific job, and so thank you for everything, Morgan, and you'll be seeing a lot of her during this event. So she rose to the challenge, and so I want to introduce to you individuals here on the stage with me who also have fulfilled the theme of our symposium, Rose to the Challenge. John Ruan III, John, our chairman of our foundation. John, if you'd stand up. John was convinced me to come home to Iowa, and he and his family have risen to the challenge time and time again. There wouldn't be a World Food Prize, as Dr. Borlaug would always say, except for the Ruan family. So John, thank you so very much. Our special guest of honor here all week, Her Excellency, the Vice President of Peru, Mercedes Areos. Your Excellency. And she's here in 2 capacities. She's not only the Vice President of Peru and leading initiatives there, but she has just become the global chair of the Food Forever initiative. And so you'll be hearing tomorrow at our symposium luncheon. Be there for the soy luncheon. She's going to give the symposium keynote address at that time, and blending together these 2 important roles that she has. Our World Food Prize laureates, Lawrence Haddad and David Nabarro. I've gotten used to introduce them at the same time. We're here. The symposium hasn't even started, and people are all telling me, oh, I heard them up at Iowa State on Monday night. They were fantastic. Oh, they were in the UN FAO side event this morning. So you guys are stars already here, and the symposium's just beginning. So thank you, and we're so pleased and privileged to be honoring the two of you for your incredible accomplishments. Yes. And then I want to introduce the new, announcing today, chairman of our Council of Advisors. John Ruan has stepped back. He's still foundation chairman, so he's still my boss. But Paul Schickler from our Council of Advisors has accepted the appointment and is now our new chair of our Council of Advisors. Paul has this terrific background in leading DuPont Pioneer. He had a 40-year career at that company, and he and his wife Claudia have been incredibly generous. Have now given close to $1 million to our Iowa Youth Institute and youth programs. He's greatly involved in that. We are so privileged, Paul, to have you as part of our advisory structure and now as our chairman. So thank you again for doing that. So you always have to have fresh blood in your organization. We have 3 new members to tell you about to our Council of Advisors. I was pleased that we were able to introduce, when I was at Wageningen University, Dr. Shengan Fan. He is the Director General of IFPRI in Washington, D.C. He is at another event. He may be in Rome, I think, at the UN, but he had already accepted there, so he couldn't come here. Strive Masayiwa, who is the chairman of AGRA, the Alliance for a Green Revolution in Africa, one of the leading forces and innovators there, and President Wendy Winterstein of Iowa State University, and she's over here. So, Wendy, thank you so much for being here. And that. So, while we have new people, we also have people who have departed. And I want to make special reference to His Excellency Kofi Annan, who passed away. I worked with Kofi Annan when he was a Undersecretary General in peacekeeping, working on Cambodia. We had our first event, the World Food Prize that I ran. John, you'll remember we went to New York City in the middle of the UN Millennium Summit, and he had instituted the Millennium Development Goals, an incredible initiative and achievement. He was here at the World Food Prize in 2010. I was with him in Ghana, gave him our BORLAUG medallion. I wrote a tribute to him that I gave in Kigali when I was there a month ago. It's available on our website, and if you have a moment, I hope you might take a look at it and see my reflections on him. Also, maybe not known to many of you internationally, but our former governor, Robert D. Ray, who was a great friend of the World Food Prize. There he is in Thailand, presenting our BORLAUG medallion, the first one ever, to His Majesty, the King of Thailand, for his role in ensuring people, his citizens and his subjects in Thailand were adequately fed. Governor Ray is one of the great legendary figures in Iowa and nationally in what he did on behalf of refugees in rushing food from Iowa to the victims of the Cambodian genocide. And so he passed away at age 89 just this summer. So we have a lot of things that we are focusing on. One of them is we've been celebrating World Food Day. And we had last night the world premiere of a light show on our building. We sent notices out. I hope many of you were there, kind of dazzling lights. You know, I'm always trying to outdo Graziano da Silva, the Director General in Rome. He's got Rome, and we're in Des Moines, so I got to do something special. So, I write to him and say, oh, I had a world premiere of a light show on our building, and I have 18 World Food Prize laureates here. So I think there's more life-saving achievement assembled here than at any other location around the world. So I'm so pleased. Yes. Oh. And then we'll be celebrating that, and then we're also celebrating our Global Youth Institute that is here again. We have 480 students and teachers, 27 states, 10 countries sending students here. You're going to be bumping into them. They're coming around. One of the unique things about the World Food Prize, here are high school students rubbing shoulders with World Food Prize laureates, and they're getting inspiration from brushing into all of you in that regard. I want to particularly note, though, the Netherlands is here because we just had this terrific event at Wageningen University in Research in August. Louise Fresco, there's Louise over here. Louise, stand up and for our Council of Advisors. Wageningen, we'll say they're the #1 agricultural research university in the world, and then Wendy Winterstein, elbow her, and people from Ronnie Kaufman from Cornell will say something, and Elaine Dillard will say something from the UC Davis. But Louise has been a fantastic member of our Council of Advisors, and she established the first BORLAUG Youth Institute outside the United States. It was an incredible success, and we had students participating, and the seaweed team won the competition, and 4 of them are here in Des Moines for the Youth Institute. So thank you, Louise, for the leadership you've done. You've shown everyone it can be done, and now we want to have youth institutes all around the globe. We're also celebrating our BORLAUG-RUAN internship. 1998, John's father, John Ruan Sr. and Norman Borlaug said, maybe we should send students for an experience. They called up the DGs at IRI, International Rice Research Institute, and at Isipe in Africa, and said, I got 2 high school students I want to send to you, and could you give them an assignment for 8 weeks? And that was the start of one of the most incredible educational experiments, and that's led to this fantastic program over the last 20 years. So these students get to go and have amazing 8 weeks. They're mentored at these centers, and we've invited to say thanks. I wrote to the DGs of 19 of the centers. 18 of them were able to send an individual, and Rice Research, they're having a big celebration in Los Baños and couldn't send somebody, they sent a video. But I wanted the mentors to come as our guests, to be here all week, just to say thank you. I was with them this morning, and I said, you are transforming lives, you are inspiring, and I thanked them on behalf of Norman Borlaug for what they are doing to inspire those students. So you'll see them, our BORLAUG-RUAN interns. You'll see the mentors who are here, and we're so very, very proud of this accomplishment. We also have a terrific set of symposium sessions. Some of our distinguished speakers who are here include Her Excellency Gerda Verberg, Assistant Secretary General of the UN. She was on this stage about 6 years ago as Minister of Agriculture of the Netherlands. We have Gordon Conway, who is giving his valedictory. He sent me a letter and said, oh, I'm getting old, I have to step back, and this will be my last time. And so I said, well, you have to come and speak about your life. So tomorrow morning, 8:30, be here. He's going to give his World Food Prize valedictory address about an ecologist's journey in agriculture. And then, to keep him honest, Ismail Sarageldin is going to have a fireside conversation with him and ask him about what really happened. So, but this is going to be Gordon, a wonderful send-off for you. And then we just newly added Governor John Hickenlooper of Colorado is coming. We have a panel on Friday that's terrific about how on nutrition the public and private sectors can collaborate. And so he'll be there, and Lawrence Haddad will be on that panel along with an array of business leaders. And this will be an exciting panel. And I know it will follow two major keynote addresses tomorrow, in addition to the one that Vice President Arias is giving at luncheon. We have Jim Collins, the Chief Operating Officer of Corteva. Now this is DuPont Pioneer and Dow AgroSciences has combined. And Liam Condon from the Board of Management, President of Crop Science Division Bayer, that has now merged with Monsanto. So here are arguably two of the CEOs who are leading two of the most significant agribusiness companies in the world. They're both going to be here tomorrow as part of our symposium. And then later in the afternoon, we have a Africa Food Prize panel. So President Olusegun Obasanjo is flying in from Lisbon. He's going to arrive here, and he will be here to chair that panel. He's the chairman of the selection committee who picks the African Food Prize laureates, and we have two of them, are my great friend and longtime collaborator, Ruth Onyango. Ruth, are you around? And on that, but Ruth is here, and she was the 2017 Africa Food Prize recipient, and then Dr. Netranya Sanginga, who is the Director General of IITA. They were the winner of the prize in 2018. So they're all going to be here, Africa Food Prize panel. And then on Friday, President Winterstein is bringing together three women deans of agriculture, Catherine Vanderbosch, Catherine Boer, Helene Dillard, and they are going to have a panel about women in agriculture, agriculture education, and agricultural leadership in education. So everyone wants to be at that. We've got an array of side events already going on. I want to mention two tomorrow because I know the people involved. You'll have to decide which one you're going to. Nick Starling, Iraq veteran, is going to be here. He has something called Skyscraper Farm. It looks like it's what you'd put on Mars, self-contained, 50, 60 stories, how you produce food, water with light. It's really, really interesting. And at the same time, in the Council Bluff, I don't know where his is, so I'll have to look up and check where it's being held, but in the Council Bluffs room will be a Feed the Future Innovation Lab for collaborative research, sustainable intensification that Zach Stewart, former BORLAUG-RUAN intern, who's long associated with us, PhD from Kansas State, is put together. Speaking of young scientists and achieving things tonight, at the Hall of Laureates, we will have our Borlaug Field Award ceremony. Matt Rouse is going to be the recipient of that prize. He was nominated by the Shavonda Jacobs-Young, the administrator of the U.S. Department of Agriculture, Agricultural Research Service. He's here with his wife, Alicia, and he'll be honored at that. So buses leave at 5:15, and the event will start at 6:30, the ceremony at 6, and we will have a reception following that, and then at 7 you can jump back on the buses and get back over here for all the side events that are going on tonight. I want to especially acknowledge Farming First, our media partner, Liz Sharma, who is here. They're so wonderful collaborator. We couldn't do half of what we do without them in getting the word out. And I also want to recognize others who have risen to the challenge, and that is our sponsors. Those companies, individuals, those organizations, government entities who provide sponsorship to us and I created that. And if you believe that, I've got a bridge in Dubuque that I could sell to you, and that. But we couldn't do this. We couldn't do this without our sponsors. We are so very, very, very grateful to them and our collaborators. And so I want to make a special word of thanking them now and thanking them. So I don't know how to do social media, but my staff tells me it's really important. So I have to talk about it. And so connect with us, Facebook and Twitter and there. But here's how you do it, and I know you know how important that is. So that's what's going to happen. This is the end of my opening of this. I want to now invite the stage party. If you would leave the stage down on the same steps that you came up. There are seats reserved for you. And now I want to invite Liz Schreier, and who will be chairing